When it comes to plot twists in anime, nothing beats Aizen's reveal to be a traitor and manipulating everyone. As a villain, he single-handedly made people curious about what to come, how will he live up to his villainous um, appearance. The Soul Society arc was already pretty amazing, and Aizen was pretty much the catalyst that set up all the things that were going on behind the scenes. But while he himself wasn't the reason the arc was amazing, it made you more intrigued to find out more about Bleach and how the things are going to go. It also made you wonder how the good guys are going to stop Aizen. Aizen is shown to be very well informed type of nerdy villainous character with immense power. It's an interesting combination, and there were several times implied that he reached the limit what a Soul Reaper can reach, not in terms of power, but in specific areas they can hone their skills in, like hand-to-hand combat, Kido spells. Aizen's strongest Kido spell he used so far is Hado 99. Hand-to-hand combat, Aizen doesn't use much hand-to-hand combat, but it wouldn't be surprising if, considering he could hold stop a Bankai with one finger. Also, his Shikai is insanely overpowered. It's once you have seen it, you are already fucked. You just need to see it once, and he can activate it whenever he wants it and put you on hypnosis stance. It's the most broken Shikai in the series, the most broken Zanpakuto. And considering he was a captain, it made many people intrigued. What is Aizen's Bankai? And sadly we never got to see it, considering how the Aizen saga ended. He pretty much nerfed himself to be defeated. So does Aizen have a Bankai? And I think there's evidence that he has one, or rather he has to have a Bankai at several points of the series that's implied. For instance, when Bankai was first mentioned by Yuichi in her conversation with Ichigo. In other words, every captain can do the ban release with one exception, and that exception was Saraki Kenpachi, and there has never been a Shinigami in Soul Society's history that ever became a captain without even having a Bankai. So, now you may be thinking, Aizen probably used his Shikai to fake a Bankai, and while I think that's possible, I think Yurichi would, considering she works on the Urahara, would probably know that Aizen has a Bankai too. And maybe they experienced it or figured it out at some point. Regardless, another hint would be that Aizen has two captains working under him. He taught several characters that became captain class, being Gin Ichimaru and Tosen, which can both release a Bankai. He pretty much taught or led several characters that became lieutenants to his and Gin's division, and he pretty much shown to be taught uh, Abarai Renji as well. Not perhaps how to get it, not teaching them how to get Shikai or Bankai, but several characters owe Aizen some of the things they have learned over the Soul Reaper carriers. Aizen also is able to defeat several captains simultaneously, but that shouldn't really matter whether they have a Bankai or not, since Sasuke Kenpachi can do that too. The next thing is that Aizen already has spirit power at least twice the level of a normal captain. He is probably the closest thing that can fight Yamamoto at before Ichigo get his true Zanpakuto powers released and excluding the Zero Squad. It is possible that he doesn't have a Bankai because a lot of things get retconned in Bleach or rewritten or turn out to be lies. So it is possible that Aizen has no Bankai, but realistically it makes no sense that he doesn't have one. The only question is, why didn't he use his Bankai to begin with? And you would think when he fought Ichigo that would be the perfect place, but think about it. In his fight against Ichigo, what did he do? Or rather, even before that, when Ishin appeared, he never used his Shikai's ability. He got mollywopped by Ichigo's dad. He could have used Kyokatsuigetsu at any point, and it makes you also wonder how he was able to battle Ishin on par when he should be mollywopping him like he did with all the other captains he was fighting. Then you have him letting his guard down when fighting Urahara. He pretty much stated it, which another nerf, because you see Aizen getting caught up by several attacks, letting himself get hit on purpose. He almost dies to an attack from Gin and only survives because of the Horyuku. And when he fought against Ichigo, he never once uses his Shikai. It worked against Gin somehow when he held his Kyokatsuigetsu, which is a weak point. When holding the Zanpakuto, the abilities are cancelled. But then again, it's just really, really dumb. And it is pretty much implied, flat out stated by Ichigo, that Aizen wanted to lose, which is why Aizen lost at the finale, which is why many people were pretty much unsatisfied. Aizen went through all these things, getting the power of a god, which is funny because Shinigami translates into god of death, and they try to gain godly power, which makes no sense. So if Aizen has a Bankai, why didn't he use it? Like I said, there was never a necessity, or he just wanted to lose and went autopilot, which is why he never used his Bankai. That being one reason. Another reason is probably that there's a certain there could be a certain requirement needed for his Bankai to function. But when you think about it, what could the Bankai do that is not outclassing his Shikai or vice versa? As I mentioned, when you think about it, Ichimonji from the Zero Squad's Ichibe, his Bankai is completely pointless because you don't need the Bankai to be used in battle. Because the only reason you would use the Bankai is if something uh, needs to be brought. You don't want to destroy something, so you rewrite it to something different for whatever reason. Like you take a overpowered character and turn him in a toothbrush. Oh, considering that's not how Ichimonji works, it just the Shikai takes away the name, and the Bankai just gives him the power of whatever you name it after. So it's even worse than you could imagine. And that's pretty much it, I guess. If you have any thoughts, leave them down in the comments below. With this, see you around, everyone.